House Bill 1422. Imagine this. A survivor of sexual assault goes to a hospital for an exam but isn't ready to report to police. Under House Bill 1422, they can still have their DNA kit tested and stored by the Department of Public Safety, keeping their options open if they decide to come forward later. What the bill says it does? House Bill 1422 promises to expand survivor rights, giving people more control over their evidence and how it's handled. It also directs DPS to test and store limited consent evidence kits even if no criminal case has been filed. What it actually does? This means DPS now has to manage and maintain a new category of evidence, track it through a statewide system, and store it long term, all without a permanent funding source. It strengthens survivor privacy while stretching DPS resources and staff already working at full capacity. Who benefits? Survivors who want control over when or whether they engage police. DPS, which gains authority over testing and evidence handling. And prosecutors who may later receive pre-tested evidence if survivors choose to release it. Who pays the price? DPS crime labs, which could face heavier workloads with limited staff. Law enforcement waiting longer for active case evidence. And taxpayers if other public safety functions lose funding to cover the new mandate. Now, why this matters. When state agencies are given permanent duties without permanent funding, those costs don't disappear, they shift. That can mean slower lab results, less public safety coverage, or reduced capacity for other crime investigations. Now, questions you can ask your lawmaker. How will DPS handle the increased workload if funding doesn't keep up? Should there be a required annual report on testing delays and backlogs? Would it make sense to create a dedicated fund for sexual assault evidence testing to protect both survivors and public safety? Bottom line, House Bill 1422 gives survivors more choice, but without stable funding, it risks turning a good idea into another unfunded burden on the very system meant to deliver justice.